Hello and welcome. Today we want to do a short video for you about how we want to conduct demos for our customers, the importance of those demos, and just discuss a little bit about our general marketing philosophy. And Stan, you can take it. Tell us a little bit about, you have a passion for doing demos for the customers. Tell us why, and maybe you can even share some stories relating to what you've experienced.
Well, you can say I have a passion for doing demos. I found that in the beginning I talked too much and things weren't really happening. So what I did find out, though, the quicker I could get to a demo, the quicker we had something to talk about. We can talk about it. We can talk about the hockey game. We can talk about a whole bunch of things, but we know that that person's time is really valuable, and we should treat them that way. I've been in boardroom tables, and we sit around and shoot the breeze for a bit, but where everybody's there for a period of time. Okay, tell us what you got. And I say, until I show you the demo, we don't have anything to talk about. So we can talk till the cows come home, and that's basically how salespeople do. They try and explain something, but there's something about visual and seeing it happen. But our product isn't a shelf product. It isn't a product that you can walk in and tell somebody about. It's a product that has to be demoed in order to be appreciated, because of what sets us apart from the other people.
Yeah, that's our differentiation, right? Is our ability to attack these difficult problems with our products and exceed the performance of anybody else's product. And without a demonstration, the customer can't see that, right? They can hear all kinds of words, but what separates us from what's on the shelf, anybody else's product, is how well our product works, and have them see that.
The thing is, I have shown this product, and the guy gets excited and say, "Have you got something for this?" Because they see the product work.
Right.
Well, have you got something? That's when they bring up their problem.
Yeah.
Have you got something for my problem? So they may not want to admit that they got a problem.
Right.
When I ask them that,
Yeah.
On the other hand, I went to a detail guy in over here, and he said he was totally happy with everything, and it happened to be I'm standing right by a car that's lifted out so high, and it had a white wall tire, and I did have my spray bottle with me. I had that was before 315. I had the 310 with me, and I said, "Can I spray the tire here and just show you what I mean?" "Go ahead." I sprayed the tire, took a cloth. He had that thing in his hand. He's going all over the place somehow, real quick. He went from having totally satisfied. See, people are satisfied with what they got until they found out there's something better.
Right.
And that's what we're showing, something better.
Absolutely.
So I can't emphasize that enough. The quicker we can get to the demo, the more valuable the time will be that we spend with them.
Absolutely.
It's so tempting for us to talk and try and explain stuff, but you cannot get their attention that you can when you do a demo.
Right. It's the demo that differentiates us from everything else that's out there. Okay, Stan, so why don't you take us through the kit, tell us what's in there, and we'll move on to actually showing a demo of how these products work.
You'd never ask, man. Here, this is this is such a neat little kit. In the back of the kit here is the plate and the 4 bottles. You got the Surf Salt 315, NA6, Omega Salt, and water in this little portion in the back. In the front of the kit, we have, of course, we need to have about 4 of these towels, little towels folded up, and they're in the front here. We have the oil, and we have the bitumen, and we have the calcium carbonate in the back. All of our product that we need to demo with. So you have everything you need. The reason for the toweling, if you don't have a garbage can handy for when we're going to go through the demo, if they're not, you can have a couple of these down and do it right on a desk, and this will absorb the product. So Not only that, you can clean yourself up afterwards, or your hand up, or whatever with it. So that, be sure that you put paper toweling back in when you have gone to do a demo. Okay?
All right, excellent. So which one would you like to show us first?
Well, which one do you want? Well, okay. The thing that either one of these, the bitumen or the oil, really gets their attention. So let's go with the oil, because the surface hull is right next to me here. And we take the plate, take the oil. Now, by the way, sometimes I let them smell the oil, so they think it's not a gimmicky thing. It's the real oil. And we just put a little on the plate. Again, as little talking as possible. Just put a little on the plate. And you got your paper towel there to wipe your finger off.
Yeah, we don't want to overdo how much of the oil or bitumen we use, because we're not trying to be gimmicky, but we don't want to spend all day waiting for the product to work, right?
And the thing you need to be careful with is if you talk too long here, the oil will dry and it's going to take longer to do the job. So to impress people, I've got that heavy oil on there. I tell them surface hull 315. I'll give it a shot like that. And make sure that you cover all areas, and there it is, it's moving all the way around. And so don't rub your fingers in it. What that has done, it's broken up the molecular chain of oil so that it will never stick to anything again. That oil just will not stick. So we take our water and we take the plate.
Fantastic.
John, just rub your finger on there and you'll see there's absolutely no residue.
No residue at all. Nothing on there.
Make sure you do that before you wipe the plate, because they got to see that there's no real gimmick to that it does rinse free, and we didn't wipe the residue off with the toweling, because I've seen people do this and they wipe it off and then let him feel it, but you should let him feel the wet plate. Okay? So, any questions, sir?
No, that looked fantastic.
Okay. All right, we'll move on to something a little more challenging. Here again, I'm just covering some of the mistakes that people make with this, and that I made in the very beginning, is in order to, and this isn't a gimmick either, in order to let the person see and feel what this product really does, you don't want the bitumen on there thick, because it totally wrecks your demo. So take my thumb, yep, it's my thumb, just put a little there.
Can you show us how much?
Yep.
That's it?
That's enough.
Okay.
And I go like this on the plate, and and don't be happy until you got it all brown, basically brown. Okay.
More of a light brown.
You don't have to put a whole bunch of stuff on there. So we put, they see that that's bitumen, it's on there, and you can take soap of any kind, and you're not going to get rid of that. So we're going to take Megasol, and we're going to give that a shot. And again, you want to be sure that you cover it totally.
And one thing, in Alberta, obviously we know, but maybe not everywhere else.
That's a good
bitumen is probably the nastiest thing you could get on anything to try to clean.
If they're familiar with asphalt or roofing tar, then they will know what we're dealing with here, because those products are made from bitumen.
Yeah.
So this is as bad, if not worse, than that. So we're just going to give it a little shot. And again, you want to be sure that you cover all areas. I can see there. Yeah, in the light you can see. Now, the thing is, the product is working, so you move the plate around and you see that it is the product is working. And when you're, boy, that one spot I just missed. So it's you can practice doing these at home if you want. They're not a big items. We take the water. I would give this as much, if you can, give it about 2 minutes so that you're sure that it's done. Then you take the water and you just clean the plate off. No residue, my friend.
None at all.
So these are, that is probably the most impressive, although it takes a little longer, but if they're familiar with anything like that. Now, we didn't talk about this in the very beginning because I didn't ask John what kind of business he was in or if he had any problems. And that's forgivable because I have done these demos and they will look at that and they come to mind and they're so excited about what they just saw. They'll ask you, will it clean this or will it clean that? And I find that people are more willing to come out with that than they are if I ask them, have you got anything? Because they're thinking I'm trying to sell them something, and if they did have something that's hard to clean, they won't tell me anyway. You know, but when they see this, they say, wow, do you think it'll clean this or clean that? So it's just all kind of a psychological thing, I guess. People don't want to admit that they have a problem in the first place, and but
the demo serves as the key to unlock the door.
The demo unlocks everything. Now we have something to talk about. Now he wants to talk to me more. And as far as we got one more, if you want to. Now you don't. I'm not saying you got to do all 3 demos. Maybe 2 demos, 1 demo is all you want to do. If you're hitting the jackpot, don't prolong the issue.
Absolutely.
So
and the thing I like about the kit too is you're not doing a huge feature dump with all your products.
No.
You're picking 3 big ones, 3 of the probably our biggest ones, and showing them something that gives a really nice visual.
See,
and that'll stimulate their thinking, right, to come up with other ideas.
The purpose of the demo and the purpose of these 3 products is really to let them know that there is environmentally friendly product out there that really do work. But I'm going to show you we got calcium carbonate here. Again, the quantity you put in your hand isn't important. What it is, it just happens. You just want a few drops in there, that's it. That's more than enough. And you take the, here we go, Na6. And they'll see this, they see the response, and I just spray a little in there.
You're going to spray it right on your hand.
Spray it right on. See, it's right on my hand, and there's enough there that it does the job, and then they shake it around, and they see just looks like pure water when it's finished, and my hand is still there, and it hasn't burnt, and all the rest of it. The only thing that I find, if you, that it's not harmful to the hand, but will dry it out. If you're going to do about 40 of these a day, you'll find it dries your hand out a little bit.
That's fantastic. So now I'm a customer and I'm going to say, that's awesome, Stan. Do you have a sample?
I thought you'd never ask. But you know, that's a common thing. When people that have problems closing and trying to make sure that they can, or they walk away and they say, man, I did all these demos and got nothing. But quite often they'll come back and say, look, have you got any samples? And I say, you bet. There's 2 ways we can do this, and it depends on the size of your business and the area that you're in. But most likely, I would like to leave a pail. I'd say, yeah, man, we have samples for sure. And how we work this, I give you a 20-liter pail. I'll make you out an invoice for it, and I'll be back in a week or 2. And if you're not happy with it at all, I'll take the remaining thing, tear up your invoice, and we're done. But if you are happy, then we'll run the invoice through, and you can have the product. So it's better. We tried, and I explain this to people. We tried giving little samples away, and it wasn't big enough to do the job properly, or they started the job on trying to clean a portion of the floor, and they say, now what do we do with the rest of it, because they just had a little sample. Now you got a 20-liter pail, you can finish the job, and if you're happy with the job, you can pay for the product. If you're not happy with the job, we take it back.
Excellent.
Is that a good job? Good deal.
And that,
you bet. And that's really the way people have, and I know I did. When I first started marketing, I had trouble closing the sale. And I found out by doing the demo, man, they're excited. Will it do this, or will it do that? If I can give them the product. By leaving samples, they lose it, or there's no pressure, no time limit on them trying the product. You come back and they've lost the product, and you sample, and it's not a good thing. So the real thing and we had a guy out in BC that was making I looked at his call sheet, man, he had all kinds of calls he was making, but not making any sales. So I went out with him. And it happened to be the first call we made was a Case dealership up on the hill there, and I did just what I showed you here. And we demoed the Surfacol 315, we demoed the Megasol, and he said, "You got a sample?" We said, "Which one most interests you?" He said, "Well, that heavy one." He said, "We have so much trouble with grease on the equipment and stuff. I'd sure that if you got something that'll do that." I said, "We got a pail of Megasol with us. We'll just leave it with you, and we'll make out an invoice, and we'll be back." And I asked the sales guy who was with me, I said, "When can you get back here?" And he said, "Oh, I can be back here in a week." I said, "Is a week enough? You can try this." He said, "That's fine." So we said, "Well, here, we roll him on the invoice, give him the pail," and he was totally happy. "If you don't like it, man, we'll take it back." And it's such a simple way to close the sale. They've asked you, and all we need to do is agree with them and make it easy and painless. I mean, what can they lose? If this stuff, they can clean the whole thing, and they can lie to us and say they weren't happy, and we'll tear up the invoice.
Absolutely.
But that just doesn't happen. We find that the pails lead into drums, and they've also led into us totes. So we may be a big guy that's there, but they still don't want to invest in a pail or a tote if they're not really confident that the product works.
Yes,
So,
and without the demo, you wouldn't even get the pail there. So that's the importance of doing the demo. It shows that you've actually got a solution for them. You're not just trying to sell them something, that you're actually trying to provide a solution and help them and make their lives easier and better.
From the marketing guy's point of view, when I started doing this, man, I slept better at night, and because it really bothers you when you're making all these calls and things aren't working. And in the beginning, that was my problem. We were trying to market this stuff, but it was when we stumbled onto doing the demos, man. I just demoed anybody that'd stop and look. I'd do a demo. I don't, if they're living, breathing, and they look like they're able to talk, well, I'll do a demo. Because you never know who they know or who they're in contact with. Maybe the president's wife that you just give the demo to. It's hard to say. And the demo sticks with them, and later they meet somebody, they say, "I know guys that sell something that'll help you." So do demos, man. It's just the greatest thing.
Here at Evergreen Solutions, the value of these demonstrations are linked directly to one of our core values as an organization. Our three values are character, relationship, and performance. And under performance, the paragraph reads like this: based in our character and flowing through our partner relationships, we create and supply products that perform. We see and capture real evidence of this through demonstrations and customer response. We all know the wow factor is really what grabs the heart and mind of our current clients and our future customers. So in the words of our chairman, do demos, man. It's just the greatest thing.